In the kitchen now with Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council. Good morning and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Can't believe it. It is the season for holiday entertaining, and you can't go wrong. My dad's favorite thing to have for the holidays, got to have a prime rib roast.
Yes,
and
mine too.
First cut, got to be his. That's just the way it is. You know, that's all right, Dad. It's yours. So when I first did a rib roast, I was a nervous wreck because you spend some money on this roast, and you don't want to screw it up. You don't want to overcook it. You want it to be tender like you would at a restaurant. So you're going to walk us through. This is a new method on how to cook your rib roast, your favorite.
Right. This is my favorite recipe for a rib roast because it turns out juicy and tender every time. Traditionally, when you do a rib roast, it's a dry cooking method, so you need your pan and your rack because you want that heat to circulate around it. But with this recipe is going to be a little different. But we're just going to start with a boneless ribeye roast.
Okay.
So that's about a 4-pound roast. That's going to serve a lot of people. Now, when you're in the supermarket, if you need a large rib roast for the holidays, I would call ahead or stop in ahead. Just to reserve it.
Yep, make sure.
Because a lot of people are like us and they are going to be buying them.
Right.
So you don't want to get there on the 23rd and they don't have one. So I would just stop in or call ahead, tell them how many people you're going to have, and they'll help you out.
And easily. That's true, because you don't want to, I mean, I think leftovers a little bit is a good thing to make a nice prime rib sandwich, but you certainly don't want to not have enough. So they'll tell you how many, if you're having how many kids, how many adults, they'll get the right size roast. They'll get you a nice one. Now this one is boneless.
Boneless. You can get it bone in
for this recipe.
Yes.
Would that work?
Yes, it would work.
Okay.
You don't need to pay extra for the bones.
Okay.
But if you have a dad or a husband who
it's got to
likes
be the bone
on because they think it tastes better. It's got that beef
and they
flavor.
can chew on the bone.
You could do a traditional recipe. We have probably 15 to 20 on the website, and you don't need the rack.
Okay.
Because you're going to put your bones on the bottom, and those curved chine bones are going to act as your rack.
Will the salt method also work, though, that we're going to do?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so, yeah, because we're going to make, actually, our roast is going to look like a snowball.
Oh, cool.
When it goes in the oven. Yeah, it's pretty fun. And the two recipes we're doing today really have no ingredients to them.
I like that.
They're not putsy. They're pretty fast, but they're delicious.
Sign me up. So this is a neat one. It's a salt encrusted rib roast. And I've never heard of doing this, but I'm excited about it. So we started with a kosher salt. About how much of it?
The whole box.
The whole box?
So
are you serious?
I think that's a 3-pound box. Yep, 1 3-pound box.
So I was nervous because I thought this is going to taste really, really salty. No?
No, but the end pieces are going to have that great flavor.
So basically this crust is going to come off at the end. So,
right.
Okay.
It's going to bake up hard and make a shell. So we peel it off.
1 3-pound box of kosher salt. You'll find that right next to the regular salt in the grocery store. It's not expensive. And then we've got a
1 1/4 cups water.
Okay. With the salt.
So add that, and then stir that up.
Okay.
It's going to make a salt paste.
Okay.
It's still going to look dry and feel dry, and that is okay. You don't want to add any more water because you want it a little bit dry to stick to the roast.
Okay. Does look like a snowball.
And then all we're going to do to this roast is I'm going to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil.
Okay. So Ange, when you make this at the holidays, beef roast, this is the one that you make for your family?
Yes, it is.
Well, then you know it's good.
Because I have a husband and a dad who don't like fancy sauces. They don't like fancy rubs. They don't like marinate anything, they don't like a marinated steak. I do. But so this, really our flavor is the olive oil and the salt and pepper. Then I'm going to just crack some black pepper over it.
Okay. I can do that for you.
Hands.
Yep. So a bunch of black pepper.
Yeah, cover it in black pepper. Then we're going to want to make a salt bed.
So tell me how to do that because I have never done that before.
So I would just dump some salt in to make it a little bit bigger than our roast. Maybe about 1/4 of that, what you have in there.
Is that about good?
And then, pat it flat with your spoon or your hand. Perfect.
Okay.
And then put this right on top.
Okay.
And then you can dump the rest on or do it with your spoon. I have a wooden spoon from home today because it's flat. So I just kind of take it, like that. And then when you get to the sides, you can just kind of mound it up around.
But you want the whole thing covered like a snowball, huh?
Yep, and we bring it up around the sides.
Oven temperature. We've got this preheated at what?
Now, traditional rib roast, when you do it in the pan with the rack, it's 350 degrees. Very easy. This one cooks a little bit higher. It calls for 425, so we can get that nice hard crust on the salt. So it's gonna be 425 degrees. I like to tell people 20 minutes a pound. So set your timer if we have a 4-pound roast for an hour and 20 minutes. And that's on the light side because we do not want to overcook him.
No, yeah.
We want him a nice pink medium rare.
Let's go through that a minute. And there are guides and you can get them online, but
Right.
I mean, you know.
You want one of these.
Okay.
Your oven safe meat thermometer.
Okay.
So we're gonna insert him after we get the salt crust on. Just measure to the middle and then put this right in the middle. And I watch my thermometer, so I set my timer for 20 minutes a pound and then I start checking my thermometer. And I'm gonna pull this guy out at 135 degrees.
Okay.
Because then this roast we're gonna let sit and rest up to a half an hour.
Okay.
It will not get cold. It will cool a little bit, but what you do when you let your meat rest is those juices that are boiling and doing the cooking settle back down into their pockets where they belong. So when we take them out and put them on our carving board, they're not gonna fly out of the roaster or steak, and they're gonna stay in their pockets, and it's gonna stay really nice and juicy.
And 135,
So
when you pull it, that'll be nice and pink,
and
basically.
then it will raise as it sits.
Okay.
To 140, 145.
Okay.
We say 145 is a nice medium rare internal temperature. If you like it a little bit more done, not so pink, take it out at 150 and let it sit, and it'll rise to 160. And we say 160 is a nice medium temp.
And I always like to, you know, the deal is the end slices are going to be more well done anyway. So I'd rather
Right.
take it out a little early than a little late.
Right.
You know, don't want to ruin that. Now, does it need,
That's looking
some of
good.
it's, you know, falls down.
Yep,
Is that
that's
okay?
Yeah.
That's okay?
Get
Okay.
it as good as you can.
Okay.
Now, if you're feeding a large crowd and you have a 6 to 8 pounder, just increase your salt.
Okay.
2 boxes and double your water.
Okay.
And make it a little bit, you know, put it the long way.
Okay.
And
And
make
he goes,
your
I'm going to
snow.
wash my hands. I really want to see, I'm really curious to see how this is going to all come out. So it's been in there for a good, what, hour or two?
Yep, hour and a half.
Depending on the size of your
5.
roast.
Okay.
So here it is. I can't wait to see it. So it's got, you know,
on here.
the salt kind of gets brown.
Take the thermometer out.
You don't want to eat all that salt, I take it.
No, it's going to be hard.
Okay.
It's going to be hard and crunchy. See?
Oh my
Comes
gosh.
right off.
Wow.
Let's move that.
Crazy.
And we're going to pull him out. Now, at home, we'd let him rest 20, 30 minutes. Pull him out. He's got a little bit of salt on him, but not a lot.
Right.
So all the salt's in there.
Right, right.
So this,
But it's like a blanket, little insulation blanket there.
hopefully we don't lose all our juices, but
Oh my gosh. It's perfect, Ange.
yeah, that looks good.
Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. They have a brand new brochure out. They will be happy to send it out to you. It's called Beef, Always in Season. You can go to our website to get this recipe too, but if you don't do the whole computer thing, the number to call?
1-800-728-BEEF 2333. We'll mail those out, and this recipe and the next recipe, which is going to be good too, we'll mail those out free.
All right. Oh, I can't wait to try this. Looks delicious. We'll be back. Stay with us.